So, hi Jelani.
How's it going?
Just nice to meet you.
Likewise.
How did you first fall into the world of modular things?
Yeah, I guess there was like some stuff that I was seeing online. I saw a documentary, I think it was I Dream of Wires, and at that same time, I went to NAMM for the first time. I was working for a company that sent me over there. We were selling music software, but I
Is
saw...
it some local company?
Yeah, they're not around anymore, but it was called like Media Gobbler. They provide subscription licenses and boring stuff. But while I was at NAMM, I saw like the whole modular world, and I kind of like fell in love with it. Yeah, it was definitely like a love at first sight type of thing.
Did you have a moment in your life when you felt like you are hooked in this like world of electronic music?
Yeah, I guess there's this one like collective called the SoCal Synth Society, and I played a show over there one time, and yeah, just the community was amazing. There was great like response, and it felt like, hey, this is the scene I want to be in.
Was it in California?
Yeah, it was downtown.
Awesome. Do you remember your very first modular setup or module? Like, did you build by yourself? Who helped you?
Yeah, I had a friend who we were kind of like diving into the whole synth world, buying stuff off Craigslist, finding like listings for stuff for cheap together. But my first setup was kind of like a DJ style setup. So I had the audio coming out of Tractor. I used an audio interface and went inside the modular rig, and I was...
Oh, I had a Tractor as well.
Yeah, so that was kind of like the brains of the operation. I had it all in sync, and then I was able to like do the transitions and effects in the modular world. So that was my first setup. It was kind of like a modular DJ rig. Then went from that to just doing entirely live performance.
Cool, awesome. Your music has so much analog texture and warmth. How would you describe that feeling to someone who's never really listened to electronic music before?
Yeah, so there's like different styles out there, but I would say mine's is with like the textures and tones, kind of like the feeling of moss. So like if you see moss in the ground, it goes in random directions.
Something natural, random, yeah.
Exactly, that, and like there's a texture to moss, like you can kind of like feel it. And I like to have sounds that have some kind of like organic feel, almost like an audio texture. So I was talking to a friend actually a while ago, and they said that my music sounded like moss, so I kind of held on to that for a while.
Yeah, it's like I saw a video of guys who play on mushrooms.
Exactly, that same world. I guess it's kind of like finding things that don't seem like they make techno and then make it techno.
So where do you usually find inspiration these days? Like, is it music, real life, like maybe some moments from the past, or where do you find it?
I try to incorporate everything into the music. So of course, like if I hear a great record, or if I get like a new module or some new music tech, it's gonna inspire me, of course. But anything that makes your brain think in creative ways. So whether it's, let's say, watching a movie and you're like, oh wow, Lord of the Rings. Now I'm like thinking about like the Shire, and that's like a creative space that you're in. Or if you're watching some kind of like documentary or some conspiracy theory, something, just getting your brain working.
Like who built those pyramids and like.
Exactly, just anything that gets you in the creative space. That's what I try to like lock into, and then when I'm there, I usually start recording at that time. I kind of think as my like EPs and my albums as like journal entries. So it kind of like has a reflection of what was going on in my life at that time.
Imagine how would people feel if you play your music like in some ancient civilization, Aztec or some Egypt. Like,
yeah, that would definitely be a cool like concept. In fact, I'm working on a record right now called Antiquitech. So it's kind of like inspired by like technology from the past and incorporating that into the future. So yeah, I play around with that space.
Some alien stuff.
Exactly. So I play around with that space mentally a lot.
So were there any artists who felt like mentors to you, like even from distance, from like worldwide or maybe local ones?
Yeah, so I guess starting off when I was in the DJ world, I started off when I was like 16. There was a guy in the area, I'm from DC, and his name was Titsworth. So starting to like carry records to gigs and help him with like website stuff and just become like an apprentice so I can learn what being a touring DJ really means. machines. When I moved over here, I started transitioning more to doing my own productions and electronic music. And I guess the person who I kind of looked to for guidance the most was this guy, Mark Verbos. He makes the system that I use. But the idea of having just an improvised performance and doing everything on the spot live, having it flow from the artist to the machine, that's kind of been where I'm at now.
So that was when you started, and do you follow anybody closely right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who are doing amazing things. Like Basic, he's Los Angeles-based. He's doing more like IDM stuff, but all his like patches I'm seeing, it's super complex. So I try to like analyze how people are doing stuff that way. Who else? Like Jimmy Edgar, he inspired me a lot. So I kind of like caught the modular bug probably from him as well too, when he was diving into that world.
So that's the guy who you really can like stop and listen to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as like people who are putting up music right now that I'm inspired by, Scudge was probably the number one for me. It started off as a duo, it's one person now, but it's like minimal dub techno, kind of like inspired by Basic Channel, but a little bit more like club friendly. But stuff like that kind of is minimal, that has a lot of stuff going on with modulations. I guess other artists, Mr. G, I love his percussions. His hi-hats are probably my favorite in the entire music game. But yeah, there's a lot of inspirations out there for sure.
Have you ever tried to play vinyl?
Yeah, I mean, I can play a vinyl set. It's not like seamless. I'm not like the best when it comes to playing vinyl, but I can do a night if need be. Yeah.
Awesome. Was there a set or gig that really stayed with you? Maybe the most intense, emotional one? Like, and what made it so special?
As far as like me as a spectator or me performing?
As you, as a performer.
So a couple, I guess, come to mind. There was this one gig that I played, actually. There was a movie playing, and they put the movie on mute, and I did the entire soundtrack to the movie. So I was composing the score for the film live.
So what was the movie?
So it's this Japanese film called The Mad Fox. It's about this guy who falls in love with this fox spirit.
Oh, I should really watch.
It's like an old 70s or 80s movie. So it's all like puppets and like actual like set direction. It feels like a play. But there was a theater, and I did the entire score for it while the movie was playing. So that was special. I played on the radio before. There's this one radio station called KSPC. It's a college station based out of Claremont, but I was able to do.
So were you at the same college, or were you like invited to play?
Yeah. So I guess people who run the station, they follow me online, so they had me stop by and perform there. But that was the first time that I've been able to like play my own music for the radio live, and that was pretty special for me too.
Cool. If you had to sum up your sound philosophy in a few words, what would it be? Like, what really matters to you when you're shaping your sound?
Having different patterns going on, having modulation. I try to have as little static moments as possible. So whether that's having, let's say, the filter being modulated in a different sequence than the actual pitch is going. So you have like two different loops that are kind of like polyrhythmic things going on there. Just having everything have some slight movement and modulation. Maybe one voice is speaking to another one. So the envelope from, let's say, one patch might affect the
So when you mix
filter.
like two different songs, and they are like talking to each other.
Exactly. So it becomes something that's kind of cohesive and it doesn't feel like separate parts, but it
It's
feels
like a synergy.
Exactly. It becomes more organic, that Moss thing again.
Yeah, awesome. How do you see the role of electronic music on the local scene, like culturally, socially? Do you feel it really brings people together, or like how do you feel about it?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like that's what's holding this whole city together, honestly. It's the music scenes, the different scenes that are happening. A lot of people, at least these days, don't really have an opportunity to kind of like socialize, and this provides a safe space. People are able to meet like-minded people and kind of break outside their small little bubble. I think that's like the most detrimental thing for people, is that if all they know is just like their small circle, then that becomes a perception of reality. Like events like these allow people to see the world as a bigger stage.
Yeah, I feel you. It's like when I go to the parties, like all the week I don't see these people, but we are super connected when we gather on the party. Yeah.
And it goes to like the tribal stage too. Like it becomes like a way to kind of pull people together to have like a synchronized beat of the heart or rhythm or anything like that. Yeah.
Nice. And last but not least, right now, at this point in your journey, what feels most important in your sound? Like, what are you really exploring or chasing musically?
I guess right now I'm just trying to figure out the best ways of expressing myself through control voltage, through my system. That way it's more improvised. The idea of I having thought in my mind and translating that thought into the sound as quickly and as seamlessly as possible. That way improvisation, recording, it can feel more spontaneous. That's my biggest focus now, just being able to have the whole live performance be as intuitive as possible.
What do you feel about like combining downtown LA industrial vibe with those hiking mountains and all the stuff around LA? Like, do you use it in making music? Like maybe you synchronize all those feelings like natural with industrial and like.
Definitely. I mean, I spent most of my life probably in urban spaces. I spent a couple of years actually living downtown. That's a great source of inspiration, just like the things that you see, the sounds that you hear, the people that you meet, the parties you go to. But in the same token, you want to have some kind of like relief, some space to actually have your own thoughts process. If all you're using is just external input, you're not being able to have your own like emotions transmit. So being able to contrast that with like, let's say going to Joshua Tree or going on a hike or having some spaces that you can kind of feel more expansive. It's
Yeah,
kind of like with music.
you just get rid of that high pace of life. You don't think about like some job and other stuff.
Yeah. And you kind of have to like have that same type of dichotomy with music too. You want to have like ambient textures alongside, let's say, industrial grooves, and that's what makes a progression for the night. Life is the same way. You have to have like that balance. Essentially, round yourself out, yin yang, if you want to say that.
Yeah, thank you for your set.
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I had a great time.
I really had a great time.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean it's a cool space. The first time I played in like a car lot type of thing, but that was really cool.
Yeah, and we are really glad to have you on Nocturna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you next episode.